Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. The 3-point line was going to tell the difference in this game between West Virginia and Texas Tech, and boy, did it ever. Mountaineers fall at home 70 to 63. A golden opportunity that they had, like we talked about pregame. It's squandered in this one. We got you covered here. Mountaineer Moment, episode 144, recap West Virginia, Texas Tech. This is the Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. From pregame to postgame coverage and breaking news, we've got you covered. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody, to episode 144 of Mountaineer Moment. My name's Troy. I am your host here on Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. In this episode, we're talking about that Texas Tech West Virginia game that just went final about 20 seconds ago. And we're jumping on here real quick. A little different setup for this one, but we're going to talk about it nonetheless. And so, first thing that comes to mind, aside from the three-point shooting, is the fact that this was truly a golden opportunity for West Virginia. You get a come-from-behind road win against Cincinnati. You come back home, Coal Rush game. You have an opportunity in front of your home fans to knock off a top 15 opponent, a team that has Big 12 aspirations, NCAA tournament, like Final Four aspirations, and you miss the opportunity. So that hurts. A golden opportunity that you squander here at home, not to sit here and say that they should have won the game or were supposed to win the game or anything like that, but you had an opportunity here as we, go from early to mid-February with, Selection Sunday a few weeks away, and you're on the outside looking in at the tournament bubble, and here's an opportunity on a silver platter for you that's presented, and you go and you lose. Again, final score, and we'll get into the box score and stuff too, but 70-63, a disappointing loss. That West Virginia played hard. I feel like Neil Brown saying that, but like they did. You like the fight, you like the hustle. Down by 12. Excuse me. Down by 12 at halftime, and cut it to 4 right out the gate. Really great halftime adjustments from Ross Hodge to do what he did, and then every time you made a little run, Texas Tech had an answer, and so for the majority of that second half, the lead for them hung between 8 points and 13 points, and the final score again, 70-63 in favor of the Red Raiders. Mountaineers outscored them 36-31 in the second half. But again, I'm so a little surprised, I guess, that we made it this far, into the main portion of the episode, and not gone deeper on this 3-point shooting. That was one of the points of emphasis if you watched that pregame episode that we did here on Mountaineer Moment. Breaking down this game, I said the 3-point line is going to be a deciding factor and something to keep an eye on. And I didn't know quite to the extent that it was going to prove to be true. I had a feeling it would be, or else I wouldn't have said it. But man, did that reign true in this one. West Virginia, their worst 3-point shooting performance of the season, 2 for 22. 2 for 22 from downtown, one of those being Chance Moore making a 3, the other one being Eagle Staff in the corner late first half, and that was it. 2 for 22. Flip side, Texas Tech, 13 out of 24. 54% shooting compared to 9% shooting, and so there's your ball game. And it's reading those numbers, right? If you didn't know the context, you didn't watch the game, I didn't just ruin the final score for you. If I told you West Virginia went 2 for 22 for 9% from 3, Texas Tech went 13 for 24, 54% from 3, you would think West Virginia lost by at least 25. I'd have to imagine. But they only lost by 7 somehow, some way. And again, I think that's a tribute to the fight. They didn't. Shots weren't falling today. That's clear. But they fought. And, I thought I was impressed. I really was impressed with 3 players in particular in this game. And Chance Moore, honorable mention, I guess. But 3 players for the Mountaineers that I was impressed with. Belo, for one. Brennan Laurent was really, really good on both sides of the floor. 21 points, 10 of 14, 5 boards, 1 assist, 3 steals, and a block. I thought he had 2, but I guess just 1. Maybe Obioha got that other one because he had a block. Harlan Obioha impressed me. He was hovering around that double-double, 9.7 boards, 3 of 3 from the field. And just so I don't forget, too, so I mentioned three-point shooting. Well, free throw shooting. This team can't make a free throw, it seems. And it's you missed 10 free throws, you lost the game by 7. You went 13 of 23 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, Texas Tech made theirs, 11 of 13. So shooting, like the problem that this team has, and it's not a surprise, we've seen, they've shot, this is their first game in the 60s in a while, getting 63 points. That's a high scoring output for this team, unfortunately. You only gave up 70 to a really, really, really good Texas Tech team, and I'll talk about them more in a moment, but 13 of 23 from the free throw line, and he lost by 7. There were a pair in the second half where there was a pair in the second half where Harlan Obioha missed 2, and Chance Moore missed 2. You missed 4 free throws in a row, and then Belo missed, I think, the front end of his. You ended up missing 5 free throws in a row down the stretch when you're trying to make a comeback, and that's not a recipe for success when you're trying to make a comeback. So super frustrating, just the shot making ability, and at the free throw line, make your free throws, and it's frustrating to watch. Seems like every West Virginia team ever can't make free throws. It's so simple to me. Like I don't get it. I can't register missing so many free throws. Doesn't make sense to me. Overall, you out-rebounded Texas Tech 34-28. But this Texas Tech team, and the point that I'm making here, even on the YouTube outline that you see there, this Texas Tech team is really talented. Really talented. They got shooters everywhere. One of the best bigs in the country in JT Toppin, and one of the best point guards in the country. They have 2 of the best players in the country, in my opinion, especially on the offensive end. Toppin, 22 points and 9 boards. He was 8 of 17. He had 22 points and 9 boards, and I wasn't, I've seen JT Toppin play a lot of basketball. I wasn't overly impressed with him today. He had a couple shots get blocked. He had a couple, shots that you normally see him make around the rim that he didn't, especially early in the first half, got flustered a little bit. So I think West Virginia's defense on him was actually pretty good. I thought Belo, again, we mentioned Belo's offensive numbers, 10 of 14, and he got a lot late, but he was really good. He just was. I was super impressed with Belo, especially considering, now there was a lot of Obioha on JT Toppin too, but yeah, I liked what I saw. I liked what I saw from Belo in this afternoon on Super Bowl Sunday. So now the other player, there's a few to mention in their starting lineup. They only had 2 bench points, but Christian Anderson, fresh off of his illness, and I mentioned he didn't play against Kansas. Obviously, I think they beat Kansas if he plays because he's that good. He played all 40 minutes, had 13 points and 11 assists. Just really, really good. It was Donovan Atwell, 4 of 5 from 3. They had each starter make a 3. Their starting lineup contributed to all 13 of their made 3s, 13 of 24. And, again, there's your ball game. But I do think, it'd be a little foolish of us to sit here and say, as West Virginia fans, again, as much as it pains us to say that, we expected or thought we were going to win that game. I thought we absolutely could. Certainly. And, you make a few more shots, you do win the game. But we do have to be real, again, coming off of this thing where I'm mentioning, especially with Anderson and Toppin, those 2 guys are unbelievable. And I'm not using it as an excuse, but what I am using it to say is, there is a talent disparity on this team, or between these 2 teams. And we've seen that other times this year. Houston, Arizona, Iowa State. Now, those were all blowouts. But this is another game. Now, Kansas, there's a talent disparity. They got 5 stars, we don't, and we beat them at home. So sometimes you can beat a more talented team. West Virginia has done that probably a couple times this year. But with Texas Tech, again, sometimes it's not all about like coaching. Now or it's not all about like let's blame the coach or let's blame this and that. Sometimes a team is just more talented than you, right? Again, I thought Ross Hodge did a great job coming out second half with adjustments. The team played hard. You didn't make shots. The other team did. And they're more talented than you are. It sometimes basketball is that simple. And in this game this afternoon against Texas Tech, it wasn't, to me at least, it wasn't a thing of, all right, well, we blew it, or I do think it was a golden opportunity that you lost, but it's not like you blew the game or cost yourself this and that and this and that because of bonehead mistakes. You missed a lot of shots, and the other team has a lot of talent. To me, that's what this game came down to. I'm sorry if you disagree, but 70-63, the final. Texas Tech over West Virginia. And as it relates to the big picture, obviously West Virginia falls to 15-9, 6-5 in conference play. It was one you really wanted to get, and we're not giving up on the potential of West Virginia making the big dance, but this one would have went a long way toward doing that. You're certainly not in the picture at this moment, but Selection Sunday's not this afternoon, this evening, right? This game was on a Sunday. Selection Sunday is not right now. It's a few weeks away. And you still have opportunities out there to go and get quality wins over quality opponents. Maybe not one that's going to come, against a top 15 team like Texas Tech would have, because that would have been awesome. But you dropped it. And it don't mishear me, because again, at the beginning we said this is a golden opportunity and you squandered it. You lost the game. And this would have it was a golden opportunity in the sense that it gets you right in that mix in the bubble conversation, because you would have been 7-4 in conference play, and that's pretty good in the Big 12. So you got to bounce back. You got to regroup. You're at 15 wins. Is there a magic number? I don't know. Is it 20 or 21? I don't think I'd be super comfortable with 20. And you only got 7 games left, so you do the math there. 5-2, 6-1, and depending on what you do in the conference tournament, you might be able to get in, but it's an uphill climb, because you got UCF next Saturday. You got Utah, TCU, Oklahoma State, BYU, Kansas State, and UCF. You're going back on the road, looking to hopefully stay above 500 in conference play, not get that 6th loss and 10th loss overall. Then you come back home for Utah. So you get a few days off. Obviously, you don't have a game during the week, and you're up for a big one against UCF, who might end up in the AP poll by the time you see them on Saturday. So that would be an opportunity to get a ranked win against a ranked win on the road against a conference opponent. So opportunities are there, but they're running out. Obviously, season keeps progressing. You keep missing opportunities, you're going to run out of opportunities, and that's what this one might end up being a picture of against Texas Tech, was that you missed an opportunity and it cost you big time. So we'll see how it shakes out, but not eliminated or anything like that yet. Uphill climb, uphill battle. This one hurts you. But I don't have really too much else to say here. Mountaineer Moment, episode 144, a golden opportunity missed, and it was largely decided at the 3-point line. Again, those numbers, let me just give them to you again. 2 for 22 from downtown for West Virginia, 13 of 23 from the free throw line, 13 of 24 for Texas Tech, over 50% shooting from 3, including all 5 starters making one, at least one, and then 11 for 13 from the free throw line. So they made the free throws, made the 3-point shots. You did not, and you lose by 7. So that's the story in this one. Episode 144, Mountaineer Moment. We will see you next time. Let's go Mountaineers.